everybody. Adam Bergman here, tax attorney, founder of IRA Financial, and I'm joined by my colleague Casper Dabek, who is a senior executive in our new accounts department. And on today's webinar, we are going to be talking questions regarding how to get started with self-directed IRAs, and we're also going to bonus this with some info on solo 401k and Rob. So the point of today's webinar is to go through and describe some of the basics for each product that we offer, the solutions, then hopefully get some really good Q&As going so we can help all of you better understand the products that we work with and how they can offer some really, really obvious and important tax and investment opportunities for your retirement. So the overview and the agenda, we're going to talk the self-directed IRA. We're going to then get into the LLC. We're going to talk as well some solo 401k, some Robs, because it's important to understand the products that we offer, because you may think you want to set up a self-directed IRA, but it may turn out that the solo 401k is actually a better option for you. So I want to just kind of overview that with Casper. I'll talk a little bit about prohibited transactions, unrelated business income tax, just some things to consider when making investments. And then we're going to have some fun going through some FAQs. So without further ado, Casper, why don't you take this? Why don't you start with the self-directed IRA, and then I will jump in and talk about the LLC.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Adam. So the real question, is it right for you, right? Maybe you want something else other than the stock market and you're interested in investing in the alternative sector. That can mean anything like real estate, precious metals, crypto, private businesses. It's all available to you through this type of IRA. You also could have a retirement account that you already have, and you might be thinking you want to use it some other way. You can fund it directly through that into this account, tax-free, no tax implications. We will help you with that as well. And you can even make a contribution, straight out of your own bank account, no problems at all. It is available to everybody, whether you're just an individual, maybe you have a 401k, you can still open an SDIRA, not a problem. And we also have options for business owners that, if you do qualify for some of these plans, it's worth looking into, and it could be a very big benefit. And you don't have to be like an accredited investor. You don't need to have a high net worth. You can absolutely begin this, and there are many beginner-friendly options available for you. So, the question is it right for you? I think if anything I just said right here, it could be the option. Right. So, with the benefit of the SDIRA, why you might want to do this is because you have that tax deferral availability. And with the Roth, it is tax-free, right? Once you're 59 and a half, after 5 years, you can take out a distribution in kind of an asset, for example, and it's all tax-free. I have some clients that, they invest into real estate with this Roth IRA. And at the end of the time, when they reach 59 and a half, they can actually do an in-kind distribution tax-free, and they have a property in their name. So it's a pretty powerful tool. With the IRA, you also diversify. Everything I mentioned, it's an alternative asset. You could still hold some money in the stock market. You could do real estate, precious metals, crypto right now. It's pretty huge. You can choose what to really direct your money into, especially something that you might know and trust. Like if you are a real estate investor, maybe a real estate agent, and you don't maybe want to have all your money in the stock market because the real estate market, the interest rates, how to do everything. You can take that money out and use your IRA to boost your retirement instead. So it has that additional capital that you can obtain from that IRA that you previously might not have had. You can always funnel that into an asset. It's pretty beneficial. I see a lot of clients going down that path. Even if it's just for a specific asset, they will take some money out, leave some money in like their, let's say like Vanguard, Schwab, IRA, and then they'll move over a set amount that they want to use for like a property of any kind. So it's very flexible as well. Like I was saying with the popular investments, you can see right here, there's real estate, investment funds, crypto, stock, metals, and you can break that down even further. Real estate, you can do Airbnb, you could do rental income, fix and flips. You can even buy a property and hold it. I have a lot of clients that will do farmland recently, and they'll let it appreciate or they'll rent it out. So it really does get quite flexible with what you can do. Investment funds, hedge funds, real estate syndications, REITs, private business stock. You can have equity in a business with your IRA. So anything you get back will go directly into that IRA. It's the owner there. So especially with crypto, like I was saying, pretty huge. We have a crypto platform as well that you can go ahead and directly invest into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you can hold it. It's a very nice alternative to just the stock market. Metals, you can hedge against inflation, very popular for that reason. You buy, you hold, and you retain that value. Well, Adam, I think you probably jump right in here.
Yeah, I'll jump into prohibited investments here. We'll kind of jump around. So basically, as Casper said so eloquently, there's pretty much an unlimited world of investments with an IRA. Okay, so other than life insurance, collectibles, art, baseball cards, stamps, S Corp stock, which you cannot do technically, not because it's prohibited, but because of the S Corp rules on shareholder requirements, and then 4975 prohibited transactions would essentially say when you engage in a transaction involving your retirement account, it must be done to exclusively 100% benefit your IRA. Okay, so you can't do anything that in any way triggers any type of self-dealing or conflict of interest. So you can't buy a house and live in it with your IRA. You can't buy a car and drive it. You can't buy yourself a Rolex watch. You can't take your family to Hawaii on vacation, right? So whatever your IRA does, it must exclusively benefit the IRA, which is the whole point, right? The beauty of the self-directed IRA is you get to control what you invest in. You have the freedom of investment opportunity, and you also have the ability to shelter the income and gains from taxation. So what's interesting is the word self-directed IRA you're not going to find anywhere in the tax code. Okay, when IRAs were created in 1974 by ERISA, it didn't distinguish between IRAs that bought stock and IRAs that bought real estate. The industry's just developed, right? The traditional brokerage firms make money when they sell investment products like equities or mutual funds or ETFs. They don't make money when you buy real estate. So that's when the self-directed IRA industry was born as a complementary industry to the traditional investment world. So we don't compete with Schwab's and Fidelity's because right now we don't sell stocks. Maybe we will one day, but right now we don't. So what we do is anyone that wants to diversify, invest in assets they know and trust, want to hedge against inflation, just want to do something that's not offered by the traditional brokerage firms, you come to a company like IRA Financial. We're a regulated trust company, and we will help you custody. We will help you make self-directed investments. You can invest in almost anything you want that's not publicly traded, all the great investment ideas that Casper mentioned, and you can also shelter all the income and gains from taxation. So I'll just give some basic numbers for IRAs. There's 65 million plus IRAs, about $15 trillion in IRA. It's the largest retirement category of assets. Second is 401k plans. It's about $34 trillion in retirement accounts, which is great, right? If you're going to save, you want to save in a retirement account. Why? You potentially can get a tax deduction for making the contribution, or in the case of a Roth, you can shelter all the future income and gains from taxation. So while the investments are generating income and gains as they remain in the IRA ecosystem, they're deferred from tax, right? All the income and gains are being sheltered from tax, which is the beauty of retirement account investing. It takes advantage of the power of compounding returns. The eighth wonder of the world. I didn't say it. That's what Albert Einstein said. So Casper, you want to talk, since you work so closely with so many clients in the full service world, do you want to just kind of talk about why people go the self-directed IRA route? And then I'll jump into the LLC in a minute.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So with the full service, right, it's called the custodian controlled with us, because of this fact that when you make an investment, we help you with everything along the step of the way, right? We will do the wiring, we'll sign off on the investment. It has to be titled in a specific way. So we will work with your investment to make sure that is also compliant. We will double check everything for you. Dot your I's, cross your T's. That's why it's so popular, because, when you're doing these kind of investments, you want to make sure you're within the law, you're compliant, you have someone double checking everything. And that's exactly what we'll do. We have a team, it's called the full service team, and they will handle everything from start to finish. I work very closely with them. They handle every kind of transaction. Even like, let's say you were to do real estate, they'll make sure that the process goes through, it's funded correctly, it's titled correctly. And let's say you get some rental income back, it'll go right into the IRA and they'll keep track of that. you have to do any expenses, they can do the expense payment request and send out wire. It's perfect for that exact reason. Especially for like one-off investments, because of the transactional value, you can, buy and hold real estate. You have something in mind, maybe do a loan, and you're just kind of having a promissory note. It's good for passive investments because of the fact that it's your IRA that holds it, right? So like, if we kind of go back to the private business stock, your IRA can make an investment directly into a business, and that's really all the activity that it will have. Unless there's maybe like a capital call, and then we can absolutely facilitate that as well. But in general, it's perfect for that kind of investment where you want to be more of that passive investor, angel investing. It's all doable, and it is titled in the IRA custodian.
Okay, well, I'll jump into the LLC. So I agree with Casper. If you're just doing like a one-off investment, maybe you're doing an investment into a private business, you probably can just go the full service avenue. I don't know that you necessarily need the IRA LLC, but like Casper and I discuss all the time, there's no right or wrong, okay? And that's the beauty of what we do. We give clients freedom. So the self-directed IRA LLC was essentially entrenched in a tax court case called Swanson v. Commissioner, which a tax court basically established the premise that an IRA could wholly own a company and be managed by the IRA owner without triggering the prohibited transactions I previously mentioned. So before Swanson, people were unsure whether an IRA could wholly own an entity and then be managed by the account holder. So Swanson, 1996, then the IRS issued in 2001 a field service advisory opinion, essentially, backing up the Swanson case. So essentially, since the late 90s, the self-directed IRA LLC vehicle has become a very, very popular vehicle for folks to use their retirement account to make investments into real estate and other alternative assets. But what the LLC does is a couple important things. Number one, it gives you limited liability company. So it protects all your assets outside of the LLC. Number two, it gives you privacy, right? Title in the asset is not in the name of the IRA, but it's in the name of an LLC. Thirdly, you have more control. So if you need to pay an expense, you need to pay a contractor, pay a plumber, you can write the check as the manager of the LLC. And that's where the name checkbook control comes from. So you just have a lot more freedom, privacy, and limited liability protection. For many of our clients, it's the right answer, right? If you're doing a lot of transactions, even if you're doing a lot of hard money loans, doing Airbnbs, you're going to have a lot of rental income coming in. You need a little bit more control. You want some speed, freedom, limited liability protection, privacy. It's a great, great opportunity. If you're okay, you're buying a piece of land, you're just going to hold it, or maybe you're just investing in your friend's business, you're going to hold that investment for 5, 6, 7 years. There won't be a lot of activity. Then you don't need to go the LLC way. But again, it's totally up to you. And the good thing with IRA Financial is we do it all, right? We set up the LLC, we get the tax ID number, we draft a special purpose operating agreement. We have the expertise. I mean, we literally wrote the book on the checkbook control. I was one of the first companies doing checkbook control all the way, about 16 years ago. And I've written 9 books, but I've written 2 specifically on the checkbook control LLC. So I think our expertise in this area is unmatched. And we even have the opportunity for some clients that maybe want to set up a trust instead of the LLC. And there's different reasons why folks want to do that. We're one of the only companies in the country that will let people set up trusts where the IRA would be the grantor and the beneficiary, and you would be the trustee. So we have the expertise to look at your situation, look at your fact pattern, and be able to help you properly structure a self-directed IRA option for you that best serves your needs. So some FAQs that I'll just touch on because we'll probably get these in the questions. Where should I form my LLC? Generally, if it's real estate, where the real estate's located. If you're not doing real estate, you can form it in any state you wish. Who manages the LLC? It should be you. Swanson Field Service Advisory Opinion from 2001 allows the IRA owner to manage the LLC. What's special about the self-directed IRA LLC? Well, I mentioned you get limited liability protection, you get privacy, you get control and freedom, and it's a really powerful investment tool for a lot of clients. And the LLC operating agreement is required because that's the document that sets forth the rules of the LLC. The operating agreement is not filed with the state or the federal government, but it's an important document that talks about the management of the LLC, who owns it, who manages it, how cash is distributed, profits allocated, how it's liquidated. So it basically sets forth the rules of the LLC. So I'll just touch on this real quick, Casper, and then I'll let you get into Solo K. So the self-directed IRA works with any type of IRA, even health savings accounts, Coverdales, but mainly obviously traditional IRAs, which are pre-tax IRAs, Roth IRAs, which are after-tax IRAs, SEP IRAs, which are like business IRAs, business profit sharing plans, and then simple IRAs, which is like a mini type of 401k plan. But the difference is the maximum contribution limits are much smaller than the 401k. But any of those types of accounts can work in the self-directed IRA world. So we're now going to pivot and get into the solo 401k. As I mentioned, there's 4 products we're going to talk about. We just talked about the self-directed IRA and the LLC. Now we're going to do the solo K, which Casper will get into, which is a great, powerful, robust retirement plan for someone who's self-employed or has a small business with no full-time employees. And then I'll jump into the ROBs real quick.
Yeah. So like Adam was saying, it's perfect for self-employed. So I always like to say too, like if you can take advantage of this plan, if you qualify, absolutely do it. It's so powerful. It has higher contribution limits. It has SHIPA control built in. You have features that you do not have in the IRA. So like this is not a new plan. It's been around, but extra at the very bottom there, the EGTRA, they made it possible that this solo 401k surpasses of the SEP IRA. What it did is it allowed for employee deferrals. So that's something you cannot do with a SEP IRA. That is only a profit sharing plan. With the solo 401k, you can be both employee and employer. So that's part of the eligibility as well. You need self-employment activity, and you cannot have full-time employees. You can have some part-time, but no full-time employees. And you need an adoption employer. So that would be like yourself as a sole proprietor, an LLC, a corporation like S Corp or C Corp, that can all adopt the 401k. What will happen is that EIN will sponsor that plan, and on the income, you can now make contributions into the 401k. And as I was saying here, right here, the contribution limits are 70,000 and 77,500 if you're over 50. That is a combination of both employee and employer contributions. The CHIPA control, you are the trustee. This is set up like a 401k trust. You have full control, just like we talked about in the LLC, where you can fully manage everything, sign off on it. It acts the exact same way. You have full control over it. You can choose any bank account to operate from. You can select the bank. We partner with Capital One, and we do offer an option for you as well. And then there's also something very specific, which is the mega backdoor. That allows for after-tax contributions that you can do dollar for dollar up to the 70,000. So with profit sharing, you're limited to only 20% or 25% based on your income. With this, you get around that, and you're able to make those after-tax contributions. So it really helps maximize what you can contribute. In addition, the $50,000 tax-free loan, that's something that's unavailable to the IRA. With this, you can take out a loan, personal loan. You can use it for any reason you really need to, and you pay yourself back. Well, you pay the 401k back with prime interest rate, and it has to be done within 5 years with at least quarterly payments. You reach that, you get more money into your 401k, and you have 50,000 to use for what you need. It's very simple to administer as well. When you sign up for the account, we will provide you with all the documents. We'll give you your plan document, the summary, the EIN, trust certificate. You will have everything you need to be fully set up and make your investments, make your contributions. And it does come with the strong asset and credit protections similar to an LLC. So you can feel very safe making investments with this plan. Yeah.
I'll just jump in. This is a flow chart, which I probably should have shared with the IRA portion of the presentation, but it's important just to see kind of how easy it is. So there's really 3 steps to set up a self-directed IRA, and the solo 401k is kind of the same method. The first step is you set up an account with IRA Financial. It's simple, easy. Just go on our website or app. It takes 3 minutes. Fill out a little bit of information, and it's set up. Number 2 is you either make a contribution to fund the account, if it's an IRA, a Roth IRA, SEP simple, or you can do a tax-free transfer from another IRA, or you can do a rollover from a former employer 401k, or if you're over the age of 59 and a half, from a current employer 401k. That's step 2 that will fund the IRA. And then step 3 is we make the investment into the underlying investment, or if it's a checkbook control, we're going to invest into the LLC. And then you, as the manager of the LLC, can actually make the investment into real estate or private business. So that's where the LLC comes in. The only difference between the self-directed IRA and the LLC is you have the LLC that's embedded between us and the actual investment, right? It's the only difference. Now, in the solo 401k, it's the same idea. Step one, you open the account with IRA Financial. We set up the plan, as Casper mentioned. We'll actually also get an IRS opinion letter, so you know the plan has been approved by the IRS. I've told this many times. I would put every client in a solo K if I could. The issue is not everyone is eligible. Why? Because you need to have a business. Could be a side gig. You can drive for Uber, right? You can be a tutor, a basketball coach, even Santa Claus. But you need to have some side gig self-employment income, and not everyone has that. Of course, it also could be your main business. Full-time employees is 1,000 hours or more, or 2 consecutive years of 500 hours or more. Spouse does not count as an employee, either just 1099s. So it's pretty flexible. And then once you roll the money into it, the only thing to note is a Roth IRA cannot be rolled into a solo K, unfortunately. Roth IRA, of course, can be rolled into self-directed Roth, but right now, the current law states you can't roll a Roth IRA into a solo K. And then once the money's in the plan, as Casper mentioned, you have checkbook control as the trustee, so you actually don't even need the LLC, right? As the trustee, you can literally just send the money to make the investment, titles in the name of the plan, and it kind of works exactly like a self-directed IRA. ROBS, which I'll just touch on briefly. ROBS is a great solution. I actually wrote another book on it. It takes advantage of an exception in the tax code under 4975 D13. And that you would use a ROBS if you want to invest in an active business that you're going to own more than 50% of, and you're going to be actively involved, right? Because if you're going to own less than 50% of, a self-directed IRA could work, or a solo 401k. If you need less than $50,000 to start the business, you can always do a solo 401k loan, which would get you around the ROBS solution. But if you want to own more than 50%, you need more than 50K, and you're going to be active in the business, want to earn a salary, the rollover business startup is the only way to do it. Essentially, there's 2 pieces to it. The first is you need a C Corp, not an LLC or an S Corp, a C Corp. And number 2, you need a 401k, not an IRA. So step 1, you form a C, or we do everything for you, of course, but step 1 is we set up the C Corp. Step 2, we set up the 401k. Step 3, you roll over the tax-free IRA or 401k assets into the new 401k. Step 4, the 401k buys stock in the C Corp. So the shareholder would be the 401k and whoever else, maybe you, your other family members, friends. And then the business has the money from the 401k to start the business, fund the business, grow the business. And then hopefully, as the business grows, any dividends from retained earnings would go back to the 401k tax-free. And then if you ever sell the business and someone buys the stock of the business, you could shelter all the gains from the sale of the stock tax-free, because the 401k owns the stock. And if it was a Roth 401k and you're over 59.5 and the Roth's been open more than 5 years, you can eliminate any tax from the sale of business stock from the Roth. So really, really attractive, tax advantageous solution for buying a business you want to control. But it's got to work, right? If you don't want to buy a business, then you don't need the ROBS. You'll go into the self-directed IRA or maybe the solo K. If you're not self-employed, you'll go into the self-directed IRA world. So this is why we're the experts. We will get you into the right solution. We're not one of these companies that says, oh, we only do the self-directed IRA, so you have to do it, which a lot of our competitors do. No, we have the expertise to go above and beyond, where we're going to put you in the right place. So Casper and his team are going to listen. They're going to understand your facts and circumstances, your investment and retirement goals. And we're going to put you in the right product, whether it's the self-directed IRA, the LLC, solo K, or the ROBS. And I think that's really what sets us apart. So real quick on unrelated business income tax, UBIT. I just want to touch on this. 95% of the time, anytime you make an investment in an IRA or 401k, it's deferred or tax-free, right? Whether it's capital gains, rental income, dividends, royalties, interest. There's only 3 situations where a tax known as UBIT, unrelated business income tax, could get triggered. Number 1 is if you use leverage to buy an asset. Let's say you use margin to buy stock in an IRA or 401k. Number 2, you use a non-recourse loan to buy real estate in an IRA. There's an exception for a 401k. That's why if you're a real estate professional, a real estate investor, and you want to use leverage, which most of us do, to buy real estate, I'm going to try to get you into the solo K because I can try to exempt you from this UBIT tax. The maximum UBIT tax rate in 2025 is about 37%. And it gets triggered at a very low threshold, approximately $15,000. So you want to work with us to eliminate or minimize it. And there's ways to minimize it through use of a C Corp blocker, or potentially ways to eliminate it through use maybe of a solo K or restructuring of the investment from equity to debt. And then the third way to trigger UBIT through an IRA or 401k is if you're invest in a pass-through business, like an LLC, let's say owns a restaurant. That business income could get triggered by UBIT, but there's ways we could potentially minimize it. If you have less than $1,000, there's no UBIT. There's a 990T form that's due April 15th, but if you're a client of IRA Financial, again, one of the beauties of what we do is we don't just do the setup. We have an annual consulting compliance service, whether it's an IRA or solo K or Robs, where we handle all tax filing reporting. So if you need a 990 filed, 1065 for a partnership, 1099s, 5498s, you name it, we do it. So again, this sets us apart because a lot of our competitors, they'll set you up with a self-directed IRA, and most of the competitors in our space are really good, solid companies, but what they're missing is the expertise. So they're not, in most cases, not going to be able to get you in the right solution, give you the expertise to say, hey, this is the answer, right? I can't tell you over the last 16 years how many people have come to me and say, yeah, unfortunately, I chose a different company, Adam. I just didn't know of IRA Financial. And I have this question, and they told me to go get a lawyer. So I'm like, what's the question? And they asked me the question. It was like super easy. And as Casper and his team were able to get him the answer. Same with tax filings, the 990Ts, the 1065s. We don't let you hang. We're going to take care of you from beginning to end and make sure that you're in full IRS compliance. So Casper, do you want to just kind of touch base on quickly how easy it is to open an account?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fully online process. We have a portal you can log in, and that portal you'll see your statements, historical, statements, transactions, allocation history, everything you need to see. And in that portal, there's an open an account button, right? And you can select one of the options. It'll take you directly to the application. It takes about 15 minutes. You can I can even walk you through it directly. Give me a call if you have any questions, and we'll be able to help you out. And once that happens, once you do submit the application, the team immediately starts reviewing, making sure we have what we need. All the quality assurance is done, and then we'll reach out in a confidential email with your account number. After that, it's about funding the account itself and making your investment. So in general, opening an account can be done pretty quickly here, and we're here to also make that as easy as possible. We have a whole team ready to help.
Yeah, and that's important too. Like, it is an online process, but you can obviously call us, chat us, and we'll help you through it. We're actually coming up with, I think, an upgrade on our onboarding process, which should go live in the next couple of weeks, where it's going to be even easier. There's some cool stuff we're doing from a compliance standpoint that's going to make things easier. And then Casper and his team will not only help you get the account set up, but make sure the transfer gets initiated or the rollover, help you with that. And then once your account is funded, you'll be obviously notified the whole way through. So once your funds hit, you'll be notified. You'll be notified to then let us know where to send the money, and we'll help you with that process. And then when we, wire out the money, and then we do the rest. We take care of all the annual compliance, all our reporting, everything. And then you can basically sit back and focus on your investment and let us take care of what we do best, which is all the administration. So you want to talk about real quick, Casper, just like what people should think about when choosing a self-directed IRA provider?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, when I'm on the calls with clients, the questions do get brought up, like fee structure, how we can help, what kind of support we offer. And I mean, our fee structure is straightforward. It's $495. It's a transparent fee. We don't have those miscellaneous fees. You go somewhere else, they might have asset value fee, right? If your value goes up in your account, they'll charge you more. Maybe they have a lot of transactions or per asset. We don't do that. You can hold as many assets as you want, and they'll stay at that $495. That is the benefit of choosing us, because you know exactly what you're paying, what you're getting. Plus, like Adam was saying, the knowledge and expertise. A lot of clients, they switch over to us simply because we got their questions answered, and we did it in a quick manner. We didn't take 2 weeks to get back to them. We got back to them right away or on the phone call directly. Adam's a great resource. We use Adam all the time. He knows us very well. He is an attorney, right? He knows exactly every kind of question you can come up with, and we'll have an answer for you. So that's one thing I've noticed with other competitors that we might have. is simply they just don't have the answers for you. And then I can also bounce back on the support. If you contact me or my team, we will guide you directly every single step of the way. You'll have somebody that will notify you what's the next step. Any kind of questions you have, it'll always be like a point of contact for you. You're not alone. You can reach out. We'll have emails, numbers, meeting invites. We are very accessible. We have a live chat, and we'll always make sure to get anything that you need answered, right? So that's one thing. All my clients, I make sure I walk them from start to end, right when they submit the application to making their investment.
Yeah. So I was going to kind of jump on what Casper mentioned, because this is really important. So I truly believe we have the best knowledge and expertise in the space. Just personally, I've written 9 books. I have a law degree, obviously. I have a master's in tax law. I've worked at some of the largest law firms in the world. And it's been my focus and my goal to work with the entire IRA financial family, the team, to educate and train people to make sure that they're as smart as me, and they know as much as me. And if they have questions, it's me. There's other tax professionals, CPAs, other folks on site that will help us drill down and get the right answer to our question. So I truly believe that. I would put my knowledge up against anyone in the country in this space. So yeah, I'm definitely not the most objective when you ask like why you should choose IRA Financial or how to choose a provider. But listen, this is not about going on Amazon and buying the cheapest, garbage bags or toilet paper. This is your retirement funds. So our fee structure is flat and simple. It's not the cheapest. You can probably find a cheaper self-directed IRA. We're not the most expensive either, but I feel that our fee structure is fair and equitable, and you're going to get what you pay for, and you're going to get a lot of value, because for $495, you're not just going to get the account set up, but you're going to get expertise, knowledge. We have a guaranteed IRA audit for the structure, and you're going to work with the leaders in the space. I think we should take a time to stop and go into some Q&As. So I got a bunch of questions that were sent to me. So I'll just jump in a few, and Casper, I'll ask you a few, and then we'll kind of have some fun with them.
Yeah.
So if people have questions, just post them. Okay, this is for you, Casper. Why should I use the self-directed IRA LLC versus a regular self-directed IRA?
Yeah, well, like we said, there's no right or wrong answer here. It just depends on your situation. For some people, the LLC is definitely a better option because of the volume of transactions they plan on doing. Like real estate, maybe you want that limited liability protection. You want to make sure your assets are secured. And then if you're just doing one and done kind of asset transaction, like we said, you might not need the LLC. So it really just comes down to whether or not it fits you or not. And also, I guess just to piggyback off that, you can always start with the IRA and see how it goes. And if you eventually start doing a lot more transactions, we can always add that LLC on later. I mean, we can, it's not like you're stuck with the IRA and you can't do the LLC option. We can add that on. It's not a problem. We'll take maybe about a week or so to do the LLC, the documents, get state approval, and you now have that LLC feature enabled for you. So it's always possible to go either option.
Okay, thanks. So I'll take this one. What do you think is the best investment for beginners? So it's a tough one because we're not really in the investment world. We unlock people's retirement accounts. We don't sell investments. So there's no conflict between us and you, right? We want you to succeed. We want you to have the largest possible IRA you can, because we have flat fees. So whether you have $45 million in your IRA, 100 million or 50,000, you're going to pay the same flat fee, because we're going to give you the same great, amazing service. So if I had to guess, the easiest beginner stuff, I think it's probably private stock, just because if you understand what you're buying, just investing in a friend's business, it's probably the easiest to do, because you're basically just subscribing, investing either in a corporation or an LLC. Or I think our crypto platform, because you can just onboard and dabble around. It's super easy. We use Bitstamp, which is the top 10 largest crypto exchange in the world. And essentially, we have about 30 plus tokens. Super easy. We have no holding fees. So you can just buy Bitcoin and hold it. No asset valuation fees, and some small transaction fees. So it's an easy system to use. It's kind of like just buying stocks. So I think those are probably the two easiest investments to kind of start with. Okay, I got a couple more. I'll just throw this one at you, Casper. How much support do you give during the process to set up?
Yeah. I mean, kind of how I was saying earlier as well. We'll go from start to finish, ongoing support. Like if you speak with one of my teammates, one of the reps here, or myself, you'll have all of our information. And as you go through the process, you'll always have somebody working your case. When you progress and like, let's say you're getting your account number, you'll have someone that sends you that confidential email. Once you're doing the transfer to fund the account, you'll have somebody working on that as well. So you'll always have somebody to talk to. So we will never leave you out to hang. You'll always know your next step, especially with the team here. We can kind of be like the liaison between you and the company. We'll make sure that we get you taken care of. That's the key here.
Okay. Another one, Casper. Who sets up the bank account for the self-directed IRA LLC, and which bank do clients typically use?
Yeah. So we actually give you an option. Like if you do the LLC or solo 401k, we have a Capital One option for you. We can set that up, and it's pretty easy, straightforward. We'll handle it for you, so you have nothing to worry about. We'll move your funds directly into that Capital One account, and you can transact straight from there. Or you could choose like a local bank, like Chase, Wells Fargo, any other kind of bank that you might have, and open it directly with them. We'll give you all the documents you need to make that happen. You just provide us the wiring information. We'll send the funds from the IRA directly into that LLC, and it's all golden from there.
Okay, one more. Can I invest in cryptos with the self-directed IRA LLC?
Yes, you can. So similarly with opening an account, you can open an institutional LLC account on any exchange, whether it's like Coinbase, Kraken, even Bitstamp. You can go ahead and do so, and it's directly with them. You could also access the crypto platform we have from the IRA, so you do have options, but it's generally very flexible. It allows for, you could even do staking, the kind of mining. The LLC is very flexible with crypto.
Okay, one more. If I do a regular self-directed IRA and then have a rental property and payments come in, how would the money from the borrowers or renters go into my account?
Yeah, so you'll have a specific designated account for your IRA. It'll be titled for benefit of your first and last name, and then we'll give you the instructions that you can provide the people that send you the rental income or loan, dividends, interest. So you will have that availability, and we'll share that with you. So you'll know exactly any kind of cash flow will go directly into your IRA account.
Right. We also have ACH options.
Yeah.
So once you do the first payment, it's super easy to do because obviously we have thousands of clients that are doing real estate or do hard money loans. So there's interest payments and rental income flowing back to the account on a monthly basis. So it's super, super easy. Okay, let me tackle a few. This person wants to know, I'm working with Jennifer to set up a Robs, but I'm starting 3 other businesses. Do I put them under a Robs or do I put them under my personal side? My wife and I are stuck. So it's a great question. I probably need a little bit more facts and circumstances, but if you want to and have the ability to do so, you could set it under the Rob. So your C Corp could be the holding company, and then you could have companies underneath it. Let's say you have a dry cleaners, you have a, I don't know, a veterinarian, an accounting firm, a software company, whatever it is, restaurant, under that holding company. And then you could get a management fee in that holding company as an employee, and then have all those companies underneath it. That's probably makes the most sense. But again, if you, for some reason, have different investors in these other businesses and you don't want them to be part of the Robs, then you can certainly own those businesses personally. So again, it's really facts and circumstances. There's no right or wrong. And that's why it's important that you work with experts. Okay. This is not just a one size fit all product. It's not like going off the rack and buying a pair of jeans. Oh, I'm size, 32 waist. Like I can buy any type of Levi's jeans. No. This is super important. This is customized to your retirement. I can't tell you how many times, it's multiple times a week that I get to talk to people and they say, I'm in the structure and I'm stuck now because this is what I need to do, or I have UBIT, or I should have done the solo, or I should have done the Robs and I'm stuck. What do I do? In some cases, it's too late. There's nothing I can do. I can't unwind it. So it's so crucial and important to start out on the right foot and get the right advice up front. So then you have clear sailing ahead. So let me do one more and I'll then give you another, Casper. Okay, Casper, you can do this one. Why not? Can you go over the in-kind distribution rules back to personal assets? So let's say someone they own real estate in the IRA and then wanted to take a distribution. Is it possible? Do they have to sell the real estate?
Yeah, you don't have to sell the real estate. On our distribution request form, you can do an in-kind distribution of that asset. All we really need is just the fair market valuation. and we're able to distribute that directly to you. So back in my example, I was using a client that was in a Roth IRA, and they're over the age 59 and a half. They can take non-penalty distributions, and it's been open for longer than 5 years. So their asset that they took out really was tax-free. There's nothing to tax. It's all Roth money, all post-tax, and they can do it directly out of the Roth. They don't have to do any kind of sale. It goes directly into their ownership. So it's kind of cool. I like to mention it because it's eye-opening what you can really do with this IRA.
Okay, one more for you, Casper. Can I roll over both a SEP and a health savings account into a checkbook LLC?
Yeah, so with this option, you can absolutely do so. And we like to call this like a multi-member LLC. If you have multiple IRA accounts, like a traditional Roth, SEP, HSA, you can actually partner them into like this joint venture in one checkbook controlled LLC. We'll do the documents for you, the EIN, and you will be required to file that 1065 form, which is great because we do that for you as well in our compliance service. So we'll cover everything for you from start to finish. Those two accounts will go in, let's say 50-50, you can follow the pro rata rule, invest into the LLC. Any gains back will go directly into the LLC, and you could distribute based on the ownership value in there. So it's very, I see like husband and wives doing this. I see people that have multiple accounts doing this. It's becoming very popular just to have more access to funds through that one LLC, and you don't have to manage multiple LLCs if you don't want to.
Right, and it's a good point because we're one of the few companies that allow multiple IRAs or retirement accounts into one LLC. And the reason clear is that 4975E2, which talks about disqualified persons, a retirement account is not deemed a disqualified person. So that's why you can partner with retirement accounts. I'll answer this one. How much oversight does IRA Financial do? With Schwab, I need to explain why I want to take a distribution. No, we don't make you answer a questionnaire why you want to take a distribution. It's your money, right? We're going to give you the money. We'll have to 1099-R it. If you're under 59 and a half, for example, it could be taxable, subject to a 10% penalty. And we'll talk to you about the tax implications. But no, it's your money. We're not here to be your professor and scold you if you want to take money out of your account. Okay, here's a follow-up to the Jen question on the Robs. Is Jennifer the person I should talk with, or is there another person? You can email Robs at IRA Financial. You can email Jennifer. There's a whole team of people, Maria Nelza. You can also just call into our customer service line. So there's a group of people that can help and specialize in Robs. But try Jen if you can't get her. She'll get you to the right person. Or you can just call in. We actually have phones. We want to hear from you. We like talking to our clients. One more question, Casper. One or two more. Okay. Is there any way we can learn more about different investment options? Do you have something to address, discuss on that?
Yeah, different options. You can always give me a call. Here, my information's on the screen. But we also have a lot of resources. Adam writes blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos that we post pretty regularly. And I can also send you some more information. Adam has like many guides as well. He's wrote like this 19-page guide that goes really in depth into the IRA and what you can invest in and tips about it as well. So we can absolutely be very resourceful. Just give us a call, shoot me an email. I'll make sure to kind of point you in the right direction of like how it would work. If you maybe are interested in real estate or crypto or other kind of assets and you want some more ideas, I can definitely let you know about what this IRA can do and just kind of how it would be handled.
Okay, I got one more. Are there any income limitations for doing a Roth conversion? No. Since 2010, anyone can do a Roth conversion. So what a Roth conversion is it's a manner in which you can move money from a pre-tax IRA to Roth. It is subject to income tax, but if you can convert at a low value, so let's say you're converting an in-kind asset like real estate, it's potential opportunities to get a discounted valuation of maybe 20 to 40%. So then you pay tax at a lower value. And then once the investment's in a Roth, so long as you're over 59 and a half and the Roth's been open at least 5 years, then you can pull everything out of the Roth tax-free. So some conversion opportunities are available that are pretty exciting. Okay, one more follow-up question. Can I merge my SEP IRA and my wife's IRA into a single checkbook control LLC? Casper?
Yes, absolutely. That's that multi-member LLC that we offer, one of the few custodians that do it. Both of those IRAs will be able to commingle into the LLC while I co-invest. And you can't co-invest into one IRA, right? So you will need your own separate IRAs, but those IRAs can absolutely invest into one LLC. And we'll take it from there. We'll cover it, do the operating agreement. Everything will be taken care of.
Okay, I got a question here too about someone asking if Chase is offering $700 to start a business account, would they be able to contribute this bonus to my IRA LLC? It gets a little bit gray when it talks about when the rules relate to basically bonus contributions for a retirement account. There's some rules back in the 1980s in terms of what a bank can offer someone to make an IRA contribution. It's generally capped at a very low amount, around $30. But here, if you can make the argument, it's not for making the actual IRA contribution, but it's for actually opening the investment account. It's possible. I think as long as the money goes into the IRA LLC and not to your pocket, it's possible. And we actually have a very exciting crypto match, 1% crypto match that we're starting very shortly, where if you add in new money to our crypto platform, whether you're a current or new client, you'll get a 1% match for free that you can use for your investment. So if you put in $10,000, you get a 1% match that you could then use to invest in the crypto platform, which is pretty cool. So that's something we've done as kind of a match. It's basically like a return on your capital as an interest. So that's how we kind of got around that IRS rule. But if that money goes from Chase to your IRA LLC, I think you'll be okay. Just don't put that money in your pocket. Last two questions. Okay, Casper, I'm going to give you one of these. What happens if private company goes public? How do you sell shares? Do you want me to do that, or you got that one?
I mean, I think you might have some better insight on that one.
Okay, I'll do that one. This one, I'll give you the next one. So basically, we've had this happen a lot, especially with SPACs during COVID. So if you are lucky enough to invest in a private business that goes public, it's great. I mean, your shares will convert and essentially will help with the transfer agent to convert the ownership from the private to the public. And then when you're able to unlock those shares and sell them, they'll go back to the IRA at the brokerage account, tax-free. So it's super easy. We've done this multiple times, and it will still remain in the IRA, and the gains will be sheltered. So don't worry. Okay, I'm giving you this last one, Casper. You got the honor of doing the last one. Are there any limitations to real estate investments?
No, really. I mean, just following the prohibited transaction rules. That's the only limitation. Otherwise, you're good. Everything else is green light. You can invest in any kind of real estate property, commercial, residential, tax liens, deeds, rental income, land. It's very flexible here. So just follow the prohibited transactions. Make sure you're not, buying a primary residence and living in it with your IRA. That's that would be prohibited. But otherwise, anything else, it's pretty much clean slate.
Yeah, I'll just kind of double click on that. So basically, as long as you're not dealing with a disqualified person, a parent, child, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities controlled 50% or more by such persons, you can do it. So as long as you're not living in the house, you're renting it to your mom, or borrowing money from your dad, kids, you're going to be able to do the real estate deal, whether it's buying the hard asset or investing in the fund. Just remember, if you're using leverage, the loan has to be non-recourse. That's a loan you do not personally guarantee. And remember, I talked about UBIT, unrelated business income tax. That's something to consider. That's why it's important, again, work with experts, talk to us, share your facts and circumstances. We want to hear what you're doing. We want to help you navigate these rules so you can generate the most tax efficient and maximize your tax returns, tax-free returns in your retirement account. So the more facts you provide, the better we can provide you clarifications and help you navigate the prohibited transaction, UBIT rules, so you could generate the most tax-efficient returns possible for your retirement account. So please, if you have more questions, you can contact Casper. His info is on the screen. You can call in to our 800 number, 472-1043. You can go online. You can chat us. There's 100 ways you can contact us. We're really good at getting back. So there's no dumb question, right? The first thing I learned in law school is actually not a lie. The first session I had in law school, the first interaction I had with a professor, this brilliant professor said, listen, there's no dumb questions. Okay. If you have a question, there's probably 1,000 people behind you that have the same question. Don't be shy. Ask it. That's why we're here. So don't be worried about, oh, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. It's okay. we'll get you the answer. And it's probably a really smart question if you think it's stupid. It's generally the dumber questions you think are stupid are actually the smart ones. So don't be shy. We're here to help. We love talking to clients. We have an amazing team, 75 plus people throughout the country that are dedicated to help people become better self-directed IRA investors. And the last thing I'm going to say is smart people self-direct. So we want you to join the self-directed retirement nation, join the IRA financial family, and help you grow your retirement account. So hopefully we all can become seven-figure tax-free millionaires. That's the game. So that's it. Casper, you have any last thoughts to share?
Yeah, I mean, I just definitely want to talk to everybody. Reach out to me directly. I have a meeting link that I can have. We can have more Zoom calls. I'm very accessible. You know, I'll make sure to get you taken care of, and I'll be your point of contact. Please do reach out. We can maybe have more questions that you have right now that you just can't think of quite yet. Always reach out to me. I'll make sure to get that answer for you. That's not a problem for me. I'll be happy to talk to you anytime, any day. Just let me know, and I'm here.
I think like Saturday, 2 a.m. is probably a great time to call Casper.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
okay.
So after 7 p.m., maybe I might not pick up.
Seriously,
I'll get back to
you can email. Okay, well, thanks, Casper. Really appreciate your time. Thank you, everyone, for spending some time with us today. I hope we answered your questions. Hope we gave you some interesting insight, things to ponder on the self-directed retirement world. Hopefully now you understand the 4 self-directed solutions: the IRA, the IRA LLC, the Solo K, and the Robs. That's it for us today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and look forward to talking to all of you again soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.